Well, to somebody who's basically, I would call it defeated by stigmatism, right? And they're feeling ashamed, they're feeling alone, they're feeling unworthy, and they don't want to reach out, and they don't want to be, express themselves because they're just going to hit a wall. Let's say, I would say, you know what? I would look at myself and say, I'm suffering right now. There's no doubt about it, and I feel bad inside. So somewhere I've got to get the courage. I've got to take the chance. It's sort of like a leap of faith or a bungee jump. I have to do that, and I have to seek out, and I have to start to talk.
I know now that stigma stopped me from reaching out to family and friends about what was going on inside, that tug of war that became my life.
The stigma is severe. The guilt and the shame that I felt, I felt that I was powerless, I was worthless.
It's like abuse. Not even from people around that don't even really know you and don't know what you've been through to make a judgment. Stigma is a judgmental thing to me, and it hurts. It hurts deeply.
Because of the lack of understanding of other parties, it makes it difficult for us to even trust our own recovery journey, believe that we're going to succeed, and to believe that it will get to an end.
When I think of the word stigma, I think of tattoos and how related to folks like myself who live with mental health or addiction challenges. It's like we're walking around with a tattoo that other people get to design. What that tattoo says in their eyes is going to determine what they hear when I open my mouth. It's going to determine what they see when I move around a room, when I walk into a room. What stigma does is it's immediately, as soon as I share that reality, that part of myself, it's like this whole kind of set of lenses goes up, and folks around me will only see me through the lenses that they've put up.
Well, the biggest impact, I think, was isolation. I didn't want to go for help anymore because I felt I was criticized. So feeling criticized, I would withdraw. Slowly but surely, my social circles got smaller until to the point was that I was, if you will, self-medicating alone, right? Which is the most dangerous position you could possibly be in, right?
Loneliness to the point where, yes, is it all worth it? And that thought alone is scary because that leads to a suicidal thought.
It's made me feel less of me. It's made me feel like I don't belong, that I'm a reject, that I'm the low of the low, and that there's no return from that. And it did feel hopeless. That's what got me into recovery, was that hopeless feeling. Somebody said something to me that gave me just that little bit of hope. And that's what I held on to, and that's why I'm still here.
So when I think about what I think needs to happen to fight stigma, a lot of positive change has already happened. A lot of that has been through education of folks who live with these challenges, of folks who support them, of public health campaigns. What's needed now is a refining of the education that's already started. The thoughts that you carry around that not only tell you what the world is like, but tell you what you're like and what you're capable of, that's for you to decide. And you may not realize that you have a choice there, but you do. So I think the single most powerful thing against stigma is to realize that you have the power to confront it and transform how others see you and how you see yourself.
Look for the people who believe in yourself. They're out there. It doesn't have to be the family and friends, because I didn't have that either, but I just kept looking.
I think it was my strength that I had inside me all along, but it wasn't until I met these peers that I was able to pinpoint that strength.
My advice to someone who is dealing with stigma is to not make excuses for themselves. They will find it easier if they accept the fact that they have a challenge, that the challenge that they live with does not reflect on them being a good or a bad person. It's important for people to keep their morale up and their self-esteem up, because there's value to every single individual.
So once I found people I could identify with, groups of people, I didn't feel alone. The label didn't matter as much.
And they told me that you can move on and that you are somebody.
To me, love is important because it's my main fuel. It's what fuels me to experience my life, to want better things for my life. It's the love for myself that makes me look for answers in better ways of living life. Is love that makes me reach out to others. Love is what we all yearn for and what I yearn for, and it's that acceptance, being understood, being heard. I think these are all different forms of love, and I think that's what's needed most. So if I put stigma and love side by side, stigma is there because there's a lack of love. And if there was more love, probably stigma would be gone.